Welcome to the AFL&T's coverage of the 2025-26 TIO Men's Premier League Round 3 clash from TIO Stadium on Larrakia Country. Today we will see St Mary's taking on Wanderers in a little local rivalry. My name is Leo King and I am joined by my commentary partner Will Zwar. This should be an interesting battle, Will.
Yeah, it should be as we go to the toss, and it looks like the Wanderers have won captain Matthew Motlop pointing to the airport end. So they'll kick to what traditionally here at TIO Stadium is known as the goal kicking end, I guess, Leo. But yes, a big rivalry between these two sides. Unfortunately, probably different fortunes in terms of their form at the moment. Saints absolutely dominating and coming off a bye. Mind you, they haven't won yet this year. They lost their grand final replay to Southern Districts, but they're looking in good form. Wanderers haven't really looked likely so far this year.
Well, we'll see how we go. Looking forward to it. So before we get underway today, both clubs are wearing black armbands in honour of two important figures in Northern Territory football. The Wanderers are paying tribute to Paddy Leverance, a much-loved figure at the club across Territory footy. Paddy served as Wanderers president 1972 and 73 season, and also the 86 and 87 season, and 1989 and the 90s and 1990 season. He was the club's best and fairest winner in 1967-68 season, captain from 1968 to 1970, and a proud life member of both Wanderers Football Club and the NTFL. The Under-16s Div 2 competition Best and Fairest medal was named in his honour as well, a lasting legacy to his contribution of the game, so let's hope they can do him proud today. And St Mary's also wearing a black armbands today in honour of Tony Shaw, a former premiership coach of the club. Tony was a long-serving NTFL president, a life member and a Hall of Famer. Both gave so much to Territory football over many decades, so hopefully both teams can do their respective black armband folks proud.
Teams just in for their final huddle there. And as you may be aware, this weekend we've got an extreme heat policy here up in the top end. We'll get the weather broadcast to you in just a second, or the forecast I should say. But Leo, you played earlier today. How was the heat out there?
Oh, it was hot, I can tell you that much. We got a little bit of cloud cover for 3 minutes thereabouts every quarter, but wasn't easy, but nothing these boys aren't used to, except for maybe a couple from down south, but we'll see how they handle it.
Currently, it's still 32 degrees, 6:30 local time, and 32 degrees, so it is going to be a hot one. A little bit of wind out there as well, I've heard, has cooled people down throughout the day. Leo, I've been in the aircon of the commentary booth most of the afternoon, so been in a pretty good position myself. Humidity at 58% as well, so could be a bit worse, and it hasn't been as slippery as you'd expect for this kind of weather, but it is that dry, scorching heat today. So my understanding of those heat weather rules is that it's going to be 3 minutes shorter, so 17 minutes quarters plus time on, and then that extra 3 minutes we put onto the quarter time and half time breaks as well. About to get underway here in the middle. St Mary's versus Wanderers, rivals doing battle. Different fortunes at the moment, but can either of these sides kickstart their season tonight? Let's see who takes the bull by the horns. Liam Reid lining up in ruck for St Mary's, and Tyler Phillips having a crack at it for the Wanderers. Phillips has grown each week and he gets the first hit out there, taps down, running back through traffic. Cody Leggett has really carried this team so far this year. We get a quick 1-2, then a little bit of a don't argue if you don't mind. A handball couldn't do too much damage and pops out the back to Dylan Land in space. He goes inside the forward 50. Oh, Jackson Calder takes the mark, umpire pays it. And a good start here for St Mary's, Leo.
Oh, absolutely. That's pretty clinical. We've seen it many times before, Dylan Land to Jackson Calder, and if you get Jackson Calder in that much space, he is very, very rarely going to lose a one-on-one like that.
Oddly wearing the number 36 tonight. I don't know if the last week's jumpers are still at the laundry, Leo, but there's a few odd jumper configurations out there tonight. Calder in 36 is odd, but that's what he's doing. Let's see if it pays dividends. He runs around, plays on, lines up, and puts it through for a behind. First score of the evening. Wanderers will be looking to bring it back in now, pushing it out to Dos Santos in the back pocket. He's been another one who's really put in all of his efforts so far this season, Leo, in what's otherwise been a pretty disappointing start. 2 52-point losses for them. Handball comes back through traffic. Vallejo gets a handball out wide to Land. They're trying to keep it in that attacking 50, and they've done okay at it, though that's turned over to Matthew Motlop.
Another one who's really been putting Wanderers on their back as of recent.
Reid got his hands involved there. Now comes back inboard. Oh, good strong tackle there from Josh Wirchin. Ball still alive. Goes to the top of the square. Calder, I think, was trying to make a pass for it through air. Now intercepted. Will come back, and then a snap-on goal is going to go around and through for the first there, going to Jackson Braunthal. What a goal that was.
Yeah, Braunthal, I've seen him in pre-season. He's very, very quick on his feet, very strong for his size, and that was a very, very good way to kick his first goal in TFL, I believe.
Yeah, great start for him, great start for the Saints. He played in that first week against Southern Districts as well in their Premier League side, and he showed some good glimpses, but he'd be very happy with that to get on the board. That's his little kick before, set up to the hot spot as well, so good to see he's doing the team thing and trying to play to his teammates' advantage. And then that one, he didn't have to think twice, just took the bull by the horns and through for their first. 1-1-7, Saints take the early lead. Reid this time, he gets the ball down and Lant just hacks it out. So another clearance, second in a row out of the centre for Dylan Lant. A couple of Nichols medals to his name.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. The captain tonight. The barometer for many in this competition. He gets it off to Nate Paredes, who held a similar mantle a few years ago. That's a brilliant kick in there to Jackson Calder.
Oh, that's Nate Paredes at his best. This is his first time being in Darwin for a while, and he's just come in and has not skipped a beat. He is still the legend that we know him to be, clearly, and that was perfect to Jackson Calder. Let's see if he can make amends for his first miss.
Yeah, Jackson Calder could be he could have the funnest night if his midfielders serve him well, and already he's having his second opportunity on goal.
Very rarely misses two in a row, though.
In he comes. Kicks that one. He likes that one straight away, so he puts through his first as well. And they skip out to a 13-point lead, as easy as you like. St Mary's in that first week, they went down by just 12 points to Southern Districts. Replay of last year's grand final. It was a pretty similar replay as well in terms of the style of game. Bit of an arm wrestle. They didn't lose any supporters from that game there, although they would have liked to win. It is early days and they'll have plenty of time to pick it up. But yeah, that is just a beautiful placed kick for Calder. He had enough space in his defender to get in front, get into best position. Didn't have to work too hard either. Resetting again in the middle, tap down by Phillips, now offering a Shepherd, try to get boot to ball. Bullocking through there, I think that's Paredes at the bottom of the pack. Umpire will call for another restart in the middle. So Cody Leggett, big number one there. He really has been the driving force, trying to push Wanderers forward this season. Unfortunately, a little bit too much was left to him in the last few weeks. Puts on a chase there as Paredes goes inside 50 again. Calder doing the roving this time. Spills out. We Billy Shanks trying to get hands to it. Paredes gets it over, and Patterson, he loads up from a long way out, pushes it across the face. Mark couldn't be taken and spills over the boundary line there. Jaden McGrath in the pocket there. He's a dangerous proposition as well.
Oh, definitely the ex-Brisbane line, and Paredes is busy early. He's just been bullocking his way through the centre clearances. They have definitely missed him the past season or two.
So ball up, dangerous spot again for St Mary's. Wanderers need to be really tight here or it could get ugly quickly. Jack Lant wearing the number 8 tonight. We mentioned a few of them in different numbers to what you're used to. Now pops out, a snap towards the hot spot. Oh, Mark there, yes. Beautifully juggled there. And Patterson, he just plays on as easy as you like and puts it through. Good to see Braunthal as well. Oh, geez, copping a little bit of contact there. I think he was offering some support for his teammate, and Patterson's going to help him out as well straight away. So good teamwork there, but Saints are already 3 on the board.
Yeah, Wanderers would probably not like to steady the ship here. This could get out of hand very quickly, but Luke Patterson, he's a really important player for St Mary's this year. They've lacked a real centre-half forward for a number of seasons now, and he looks like he can fill that void. That was a really good goal from him and really good coming from a big man. And
take a look at this mark again. Just held his position in front of Dos Santos well and juggled it. Made sure he made the most of it, and regulation goal looked like a bit of bread and butter for him too. Back in the middle. Reid taps it down. Wanderers, they get their first clearance through the hands there of Parnell on half back. Big strong tackle, and now going through there, Max Hagan gets it out of the defensive line. Kicked forward now by Tyson Kent. McGrath, again, very good use of the hands there. Just held his position without pushing out his opponent, and that's just sat in his lap, hasn't it, Leo?
Yeah, that was great movement there. That was really good body work. He did his work early there, McGrath, and just got in the right spot, and that's fantastic movement. That's one of Saints' strengths, is their rebound from defensive half, and that was on full show there.
So in he comes. Played a few seasons up here for St Mary's now. That one just slides across the face. Struggled a little bit to solidify his role in the side. I think that might in part have been to various pieces of availability and that sort of thing. He hasn't always been consistently in the side. Not to say he's not talented, but when you're fighting up against the likes of Jackson Calder as well, and even Jack Lant when he's resting is that deep forward, it's a hard forward line to crack into.
No doubt, and especially he needs to put some good form in this early part of the season to really solidify there, so I couldn't agree more.
Ball goes down the line. Wanderers, Phillips, I think he's almost hesitated there, just gets boot to ball, goes for the torpedo. This is going to be Hagan running back, gets a handball out here to Robinson. Back to Hagan, and now he goes down the line looking for a 2-on-3, and he's just picked out the Wanderers ruckman, who I think he's one of a gang of players who's come up from Millicent in South Australia, I believe, and he pushes that inside the forward pocket. Here comes Bradley. Oh, great smother there from Robinson. Now here comes Matty Green, gets a handball off. Parnell now out. Here come the runners. They've got a few options to choose from. They go out wide, and McWilliams, he pushes it down the line looking for the champ a long way out, high on the wing. He kicks it now looking for Amory, and the boundary line beats him to it.
Yeah, Saints look dangerous when they can switch the ball like that. They've got so many good runners this season, so Wanderers have to be careful to cover that switch or it will come back to bite them.
Running like a rugby league or a rugby league line, I guess, there. Just the amount of plays they had to choose from to shift laterally to. In the end, they went back to McWilliams. But that was dangerous. It looked like it could catch the Wanderers off guard if they employ that tactic throughout the evening. Lant, maybe lucky not to give one away there. Here comes Leggett back through traffic. Now to Clee. He pushes down the line and he finds Matty Green there on the wing. He'll look to go out wide. Finds Land. He's got Kobe Hodges if he wants. Instead, he'll go inside forward 50. A bullet-like pass there to Calder.
I reckon if you want one player to not kick it inside 50 for your team, it is Jack Land, I should say that. He will very rarely miss a target, and that was as good as it gets.
And if there's one player you want to be kicking it to, it's probably the bloke who kicked it to, Jackson Calder.
Let's see if you can put through number 2. This will be very dangerous for Wanderers if they're already down 4 goals within ticking over 10 minutes.
Gee, that one's gone across the face, but still alive. Hits the deck. Has that been taken through? It has by Dos Santos. Gee, they're not happy with young Jackson Braunful, are they, Leo?
No, they've got a little grudge with him. I'm not sure what it is. He might just have a bit of lip out there, but we'll see how we go.
Does he have any lip on the training track from what you've experienced?
No, not yet. Not to me, at least.
And Kieran Parnell, the recipient of a big, strong tackle there. Wanderers really finding it hard to get a target anywhere really but past that half-back line.
Yeah, especially with Matty Green and Kieran Parnell there. That's, yeah, you want to be hitting your targets pretty well if you're going to get past those two.
The inclusion of Fraser Bradley last week just gave them a little bit of structure up forward, the Wanderers. I'm curious to see how he goes tonight. Obviously, it's a bit of a stronger outfit compared to what they were playing against last week. St Mary's made the grand final last year. But Bradley, he's playing very deep at the moment from what I'd like to see. Maybe they need someone else playing that deep forward role and him a bit more of a bridge and a link up. That kick from Paredes turned over to Billy Shanks in the back line. I think that's Clee who's taken the mark there. In fact, no, it's Sam McManus. Hasn't used it well. Paredes hoping he can get on the end of this one. Just lurking. Now Mitch Musgrove bearing his head in and trying to work it forward. So too Darren Walters. Now comes out. White. Boot to ball. Spills out. Green. Handball laterally again to Hodges, and now they're away. Kent, he rolls out, gets some space inside 50. He goes, turns it over. Daniel Clee. He's been good this year too, but they probably need a little bit more consistency from him throughout the 4 quarters. Clee. Rolling round. Wirchin. Now they come out looking and find Webb. Under pressure though, and Pingfall in the ball. Plenty of green jumpers there, Leo.
Yeah, they're on the right track there, Wanderers. They're just in a bit of panic mode right now. They just need to keep the ball for a bit, but they have looked dangerous within sections of this game so far.
Now rolling through Aaron McWilliams. His kick couldn't find a target. He'll go back and offer a bit of pressure, but Wanderers maybe are away at the back. They are looking here for Sonny Smiler, the superstar that he is. Bounces off his chest. Parnell, he now goes inside, nearly hit the umpire. Kent now, he's been busy early, pushes it out onto the forward flank all by himself. Paredes, don't know how he's found that much space inside 50. Here he goes, beautiful kick over the top. Thought Moo was going to take the mark there, but just comes off his chest and will rebound out onto that wing. Smiler will pick it up on his side of the goal with a bit of space. He had to work back through traffic. Goes inside 50. Now we have a one-on-one. Fraser Bradley's done very well. Picks it up under pressure instantly. Needs some support from Webb. Webb can't get there quick enough though. And Saints have done very well to quell the flame there. Bradley almost picked it up on his way through. Smiler also trying to take advantage. Great work there from Will Brennan just to apply the pressure and get rid of the danger.
Yeah, I've noticed Will Robinson's playing as a key back today, and it must be because the Saints have recruited a big Liam Reid, so that's a good thing to swingman Will Robinson.
Paredes now. Gee, like Pendlebury, he just managed to stop the clock there and have plenty of time and space. Saints get it out of their back line. Cleat goes laterally, just trying to find a safe target, and he finds Keelan Fijo. Sorry, Kevin Smith-Thompson it is. Now pushes it back to Clee. Looks like they've pushed him to a half-back flank. That kick down the line finds Jack Land. Needs to be careful. I think that Wanderers player is lurking, ready for him to play on. No, he finds time and space. Gee, dangerous kick there. Turns it over on the far wing. He's went for the switch. Again, Saints have the numbers. McWilliam will pick it up. Oh, big strong tackle. Umpire calls play on there. Looks like he lined him up from a mile away. Now here comes Braunthal. Oh, great shepherd there. He pushes it over the top. Cleese there. Almost lost his footing. Then ducks and dives through into some space. Pushes it out wide a little bit. Good pressure there from Paredes. Vallejo, he'll apply the tackle as well. Then he'll go and try and find the ball. Moo gets a handball out. Now McGrath. He pushes it into the pocket. Calder at the fall of it. Goes through hands. Still alive. Now over the boundary line.
Yeah, the players will need that breather. That ball was live for a long time, but both teams looking pretty dangerous. I think just Wanderers have a bit of composure. They're just in panic mode at the moment. They're almost out, and then there's just one little slip of the hands, and it's gone. It
does seem like their panic is spreading a little bit into St Mary's forwards as well. Not necessarily in terms of their confidence, but just in terms of the style of game, which means while they're having a lot of the ball inside their forward 50, they're not able to actually get their hands on it in clean space. Here now comes Amory, gets a handball out to Paredes. He bursts through, gets a quick one over the top. Calder had to work from behind, couldn't take the mark. Patterson gets it out to Paredes now. That's got to be high. Umpire says so as well. And Paredes will line up for what will be, if he can convert it, a somewhat returning goal to NTFL football for him.
Without a doubt, I think Wanderers players will be complaining that's a duck, but you'd be a pretty brave umpire not to pay that. But this will be a very, very good goal for Nate Paredes, and I'm sure it'll boost the Saints players' morale for the rest of this game.
So, Nate Paredes, his first game for the season, his first season for a couple. He puts that one through.
Yeah, he's prone to miss a few of them, Nate Paredes. His set shot kicking is definitely not what makes him the champion that he is, but does not make a mistake there, and I'm sure the Saints are very, very glad to have him back. He has had a fantastic start to this game. Don't know how many disposals he's got, but he's got a lot, so that's a fantastic start for St Mary's, and Wanderers had won the next one, otherwise it's probably out of hand.
So his last game in the Northern Territory, he played 3 last year. One against Southern Districts, one against Pint, and one against Wanderers. Prior to that, he was a mainstay in their premiership season side in the 23-24 season. Played the grand final, and he gets his first one here of the evening. St Mary's now 4-3-27. The Wanderers just one behind. Resetting in the middle.
Parnell hasn't skipped a beat either. He's just slotted straight back into this after his season with, forgive me, I can't remember where it was, but he's had no problem today so far.
So ball just being brought back into the middle of the ground. Reed, in fact, Reed overruns it. Phillips gets it out to Leggett, and Leggett legs it forward. Oh, Fraser nearly waiting at the back, landed perfectly in his arms. Instead, a kick will go out and across the face, and it's almost gone out of bounds. In fact, I think it has. So Wanderers still yet to hit the scoreboard. 27 points they trail by. Ball goes out there. Reed takes the mark.
Yeah, big Liam Reed. I think he came from Jabiru last season, won a premiership there, so it's probably a pretty good recruit for St Mary's. It's probably too good for the Div 1 level.
Pushes it inside forward 50 now, and good mark there from Tyson White. And this will be interesting, Leo, if my memory serves me correct. This would be, if you can convert it, the Wanderers' first goal in a first quarter this season.
Oh wow, that's not a great record to have, but hopefully he can bury that and nail this one. They should have kicked one about 2 minutes prior, so hopefully they can just halt the momentum for a bit and see how they go and reset at quarter time.
In fact, it'll be their first goal in the first half this season. That's how they're travelling at the moment. What can Tyson White do? Oh, he hits the post. Hope I haven't put the moz on him there. But they finally get away on the scoreboard. Matty Green to do the kicking out. Scott Moo, which is where he'll go, making a big strong lead from the wing. Couldn't take the mark, has to duck and dive through. Gave a handball off. Dangerous potential turnover. Robinson couldn't take it cleanly either. Now they push it out. Running back through traffic is Lovell. And then they kick a cross goal inside 50. That is dangerous. In comes Arthur. Pushes it through. Another behind.
They just can't buy a goal at the moment, Wanderers, and they're looking dangerous. They're in this game at the moment, but they just cannot put one through the big sticks, which they desperately need to do.
So Saints very quick to move on. Braunthal doing it at both ends. Decides to give off to Hodges. He pushes down the line. Comes off hands. Vallejo pops it to Lant. Works back in onto his preferred left, and he moves laterally now as well, going across the paddock. Pushes it out, looking for Moo. Will wait for a bounce. Landed pretty nicely for him. And he goes looking for Calder. Not the easiest kick. Calder spoils, then gets a hand out, then comes back inboard. Amory has a snap on goal. Hooks it a little bit too early. Through for another behind. But St Mary's are in complete control here at TIO Stadium.
No doubt they looked really dangerous whenever they switch the ball. They just look like they've got numbers everywhere, and Wanderers are not coping with it. So Wanderers are going to have to shape up defensively for this next quarter.
You're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL season live on NT News and Community TV. It is a 27-point margin in favour of St Mary's, and they find themselves with ball in hand, in the hands of Kobe Hodges on the wing, moving into the centre of the ground. Smiler wanting to put some pressure on, a little bit late to the party. Parnell will push it over the top now. Braunthal, he's raking up a few, isn't he, Leo?
Yeah, he's had a really good start. He was pretty quiet last week, and I think he's showing everyone what he can do today.
Inside 50 he goes. Good body work there. I think that might be killing Fijo that time. And they get it out of the danger zone for now, though. Lant, he gets boot to ball, well wide, and through for a behind.
Saints definitely left a few goals on the table here, as of Wanderers, so both teams feeling like they can go into the second quarter and kind of put it on their terms a bit.
They push out that far side, looking for Smith-Thompson, and they've gone a bit too wide, so it'll roll out for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, I don't think both teams will just put the needle in the haystack at the moment. I think they're just going to calm it down, not do anything risky. No team wants to concede a goal coming into the second quarter.
Tonight we have some live stats for you as well. leading all comers on the ground at the moment. Nate Paredes with 9 disposals, so that's a very good effort for his return to top-end footy. Leo?
No doubt, yeah, he's a champion for a reason, and he's just absolutely put his mark on this game. And Wanderers might have to put a bit of work into him in the second quarter if they want to keep this, stop this stoppage dominance that the Saints have.
Here comes Arthur now, getting a clearance from that contest. Taken by St Mary's though. Oh, I thought he was going to go off to Hodges there. I think everyone else did too. Instead, Green kept going. Braunfeld finds himself with it, but the quarter time siren beats them. So a 28-point margin at quarter time. 4 goals, 5-29 St Mary's leading the Wanderers. Our goal scorers tonight, Luke Patterson with 1, Jackson Calder with 1, Jackson Braunthal with 1 and Jaden McGrath with 1. All singles. Meanwhile, the Wanderers yet to score a major in this one. Who have you seen as the best so far, Leo?
Oh, without a doubt, Nate Paredes, as you just said, 9 disposals and a goal in his first quarter. And he hasn't got those easy positions. He's been earning them in the contest, and yeah, he's looking like he's very much like his best. Yourself?
Yeah, I think Paredes has been very good. Matty Green's providing some good energy from the back line there, and the Lamp Boys are always pretty hard to stop, but they've started this game on fire. We will bring you the second quarter after this short break.
We're for being in it together. Like Danny's team. She'll be captain next year.
For real?
For real! Or like this couple, celebrating their anniversary.
29 years today.
30?
Whoops, awkward. Well, congrats either way. And Sarah. She loves walking at East Point every Saturday with her besties.
Keep up.
I'm trying, Sarah. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston, where you're always welcome. Our cafe is the perfect place to unwind while the kids let loose in our fully supervised kids club. From our weekly lunch deals to nightly dinner specials, great steak, schnitzels, all your favourite pub classics and modern Asian cuisine. A great selection of drinks, tasty meals, a bit of friendly competition and the best sport. Kazali's has got you sorted. Check out what's happening at kazalisnt.com.au.
Are you ready to beat the coach?
This ain't no regular thing. King for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot in this thing. This for my city, yeah, this for my team.
Play now at supercoach.com.au.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Bring it up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Bring it back, up. Bring it back, bring it back.
Top End Footy is back. It's fast, tough and a pure display of Territory passion. From the heat of the day to the electricity of the night games, every clash is fierce. Each moment better than the last.
Goal! They're into front!
This is our game, our way. Top End Footy. Nothing comes close.
All right, welcome back to the 2025-26 NTFL Men's Premier League season. It's the second quarter now of St Mary's versus Wanderers. How have you seen this one going so far, Will?
Yeah, it was somewhat as expected. We know the Wanderers have been slow starters this year. Slow to get out to the field to start the second quarter as well, by the looks of things. Plenty of green and gold jumpers, and full forward and full back are just sprinting to get into the goal square as soon as possible. Imagine this could be a 666 infringement or a warning at least, but yeah, Aaron Motlop just keeping him in for the last little second. But St Mary's have started pretty clinically. 4 goals, 5-29. They're leading by 28 points against the Wanderers. Wanderers still yet to score a first half goal this season. They'd be hoping it comes at this quarter, wouldn't you think, Leo?
Oh, you definitely think so. I think they need the first one here if they get another one, and if Saints get another one, sorry, and it's 33 points. That's probably a bit beyond reach, but hopefully Wanderers can make a game of this.
So in the middle now, umpire holds the ball aloft, and they've thrown. They've had a little jumper change out there by the looks of it. We'll bring that to you in just a moment, but it comes to Lant in the meantime. He pushes it inside the forward 50, goes over the top of Calder. I thought he clutched his hamstring there. Alas, he's back up to his feet and all good.
Yeah, unlucky not to get a push in the back there, Calder. But anyway, I think he's getting pretty lucky with it, but I'm sure he will take over this game sooner or later if he keeps getting that service.
So we'll have a boundary throw inside the forward 50. And Phillips was straight to it. They got it to Land. Very tight angle across the face he goes. Hits the deck. Getting out wide. Patterson picks it up. Rolls round. Looking for an option inside. Looking for Jack Land. Oh, beautifully weighted kick. How do you like that? In the corridor. Just landed in his lap over the fingertips of his opponent. Great kick there from Patterson, and great composure as well, Leo, from a key forward to not just roll around and look for the goals.
Oh, without a doubt, he's hit one of the smallest men on the field in a jumble of Wanderers players. That's fantastic. Yeah, he seems like an all-star recruit for St Mary's. He looks like he will be playing for this club for the rest of the season.
In comes Jack Land. A little bit, not too much on it. No. Straight through for a goal. He gets the first within a minute 15, and the Saints jump out to a 33-point lead.
Yeah, this is good from Saints because against Southern Districts last week they conceded the first, I think, 3 goals from memory, and they've really nullified that today. They have started really, really well, and Wanderers have left a couple goals on the board and they will desperately need in the next one. I've said that a couple times already, but Saints looking all to control this game.
Your umpires for tonight's game: Jonty Beard, Samson Bayman, Cooper Bayman on field. Behind on the boundary, Benjamin Coford, Lachlan Hamer, Michael Ward, Toby Coford. And behind the goals, Dino Donahue and Max Rainey, as the Saints look to get it out pretty quickly again. Comes back to Paredes, rolls around. Gee, bit of a feint there, and he goes inside the centre corridor again, looking for Calder. Gets out over the top. Look at McGrath sprinting there, just trying to wheel himself towards the ball first. Then in comes Moo like a little piece of dynamite. Dos Santos waiting for it. Gets a handball out wide, intercepted by Paredes. Umpires blowing the whistle. That'll be a free kick for a high contact. He goes inside now, and he's found a teammate there, again in Jackson Braunthal.
Geez, Nate Paredes would be thinking NTFL's a lot easier than I remember. He is just doing whatever he pleases out there. Wanderers need to do something about that. Just someone to go man-on-man with him, because he is finding himself in a lot of space and he is really making Wanderers pay.
And the problem Wanderers have at the moment as well is if it's not Paredes, it's probably going to be one of the Lant boys, or, you know, you put a blanket on 15 blokes out there who can do the damage. In comes Braunthal. That one a little bit across the face. Thought it was trying to wheel itself back, just through for a behind. Now comes out to Wirchin. Got nothing. Looking for options. Oh, instead, Braunthal smothers. Socks it off the ground to the top of the square. And is that a whistle blown? I think it is, and I think it's going to be a free kick going to Braunthal again. No, it'll go to Dylan Lant. Dos Santos not happy. In fact, it's going instead to Luke Patterson.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I thought that would be Braunthall's free kick every day of the week, but Patterson will not be complaining. He'll put through his second.
And easy as you like, he gets his second through, his first of the quarter, and the Saints' second of the quarter as well. This is starting to get beyond the Wanderers before we've even really broken into that second quarter. 4 minutes in, and it's already to 39 points.
Yeah, Saints really looking to get their season started, you know, obviously with a pretty honourable loss to Southern Districts and the week off, so I think this is where they're going to really leap into the season and bank some early wins, and they're looking to do that tonight, which they are well on track to do.
So it looks like it's been a free kick paid downfield, as you saw there. Braunthal, he sort of got hit late as he got rid of the ball. In fact, he didn't get rid of it, he didn't take possession, but he socketed along his way, and somehow Patterson must have been the closest man to the umpire at the time, because he's ended himself the free kick. Lant of the Jack variety goes inside 50, looking to full forward, looking for Calder, goes through his hands, goes back, and then through the work of Sam Berry, they get it out there. They find Dylan Lant. Gee, they're just patrolling that defensive 50 arc, aren't they, Leo? And the Wanderers can't get past it.
No, they can't. They're just setting up that wall so well, as we have McGrath having a shot.
McGrath rolling round, opens it up, through for a behind.
Yeah, the communication's just there for the same areas. They've got Ruckman dropping back, they've got Matty Green pushing up, they've got the Wiz and Kieran Parnell there. Wanderers are really struggling. They just need to find a few easy kicks and just try and find a method out, and they are really struggling at the moment.
So just getting the ball from over the fence. And it'll be Fuller pushing it out. Looking for, I think he's looking for Leggett there. Leggett will find himself with it. Tries to get around McGrath. Didn't have such luck. Lant almost just passed it through the legs and along the ground. Comes off hands. And now St Mary's get a handball through. Vallejo sockers it to himself, picks it up, gets a handball back. Saints hack it into the forward 50. Moo lurking below. Paredes went for a little bit of a fly, went through his hands. I think that's Parnell finding himself up forward. No, it was Patterson, and he goes again across and he finds Jack Lant. A little bit of deja vu. Not quite the same play, but pretty similar places on the ground.
Yeah, Saints have just got that defensive wall set up so well. Wanderers just cannot get through it. They just cannot get beyond this 50-metre arc. They're really struggling at the moment, and Saints are just raining in the goals, and they probably should have. They've probably left a few more on the table.
So in he comes, Jack Lant for his second. Loves it straight away, and he is going to celebrate by coming for a rotation on the bench.
Yeah, he rarely misses them, I should say. He has got a monster kick, and that is on full show just then. Yeah, you hope Wanderers can break this goalless first half streak, as you said, and it's looking like they won't. They need to start getting on top of in the midfield here, and it's pretty hard when you've got a midfield of Dylan Lant, Nate Paredes, and the other Lant and Jack. So hopefully they can win a couple of clearances here and just play some forward half footy to give their back line a rest, a much needed one at that.
It's been all green out of the middle. Wanderers need to start getting themselves back into the contest here. They looked a little bit promising in that first quarter compared to what they have been. And it's all fallen apart again in this second quarter. Running through his Clee, he pushes it out to a one-on-one. What can Fraser Bradley do? Oh, is he taking the mark? He has. No, Robinson's saying it was touched. Put some pressure on straight away. Umpire is saying it will be a ball up. So it must have been a fist in there on the way through.
Geez, that's stiff from Wanderers. They really needed that.
Reed taps it down. Socket off the ground. Is that through for a goal? Oh, it is. Great start for the Wanderers. Finally, they get one through, and it goes to Henry Lovell.
Yeah, about time for Wanderers. They'll be very happy with that. They should have had a couple of goals in that first quarter, and they've finally got one through Lovell. So he'd be happy with that, and hopefully that just steadies the ship a bit, and they'd want the next two. So it'll take them any way they can come, even if they're off the ground.
Right place, right time here. Ball just pops out, and Henry Lovell just again sees that window of opportunity and pushes his foot through it. They get on the board. And I think that might be Lovell's first goal up here as well. They break a run of 7 goals. Free kick in the middle going to Wanderers, so maybe they can build on something from here. 42 points in the end is a lot to come back from. But if they can at least put some pressure and bring something to this contest.
This is better, just hold the pill for a bit.
Gain some possession, gain some confidence. They're looking across to Dos Santos. Here lies the problem. Well, the problem is he hasn't taken a mark at all. But then where does he kick to? And that one, he's just skied it high. Comes off hands. And then Reed pushes it forward. Kent, he paddled it forward. They're almost playing paddleball here, the Saints. Paredes picks it up, wrapped around almost 360, then snap forward. Not marked there at full forward by Calder. Try to keep it alive, and I think he was saying that his opponent, Fuller, took it out without any intent.
Yeah, Fuller will be pretty happy with his performance so far individually, though. If you're conceding 7 goals in a quarter and a half and you've kept your 2-time, 3-time gold medalist to 1 goal, you'd be happy with that.
So Calder doing a bit of ruck work in that forward line now. Ball pops out. Lance kept it alive. Snaps towards goal. Has that gone through? No. Just to behind. That would have been something special, wouldn't it, Leo?
Oh, it would. You know, if only one man can do that, and that's Dylan Land. No angle is impossible for him.
Practices them at training much, does he?
Oh, of course he does.
Now he comes in. Umpire says play on that one a bit too short. Gives Willis a little bit of work to do. And they just have to get it out of there. Throw boot to ball. And marked by Matty Green. He now pushes it across. Oh, I think that's bounced off the chest of a teammate there. Amory gets it out over the top, then inboard to Calder. On the end of the chain is that Paredes again. He goes through, and that one's well wide.
Yeah, that happens with Nate Paredes. Sometimes he shanks a shot and goal every now and then, but you'll definitely take that with how he plays his football, and he has been nothing short of best on ground so far today.
Kicking out from fullback. Wanderers assess their options. And a big problem here, Phillips has been doing a good job in ruck for them so far this year, albeit undersized. Because he's the ruck and he's undersized, Fraser Bradley's probably also not your biggest key forward. They just don't have any height to look for when they're going out of their back line.
No, definitely not. And you can tell by how Matty Green's dominating. He's just got no one to compete with him in the air there. So Brennan, he'll definitely want to be introducing himself into that Premier League team. Was in and out last year.
Looking for Hodges was Vallejo. Paredes wrapped up a little bit as well and pinged for holding the ball.
Be his first mistake all night, I reckon.
Clee told to play on. Gets boot to ball, works it around the corner. Now marked there by Darren Walters. Goes down the line looking for McGrath. Oh, gee, that's not good news for the Wanderers players. Just hit the deck as McGrath. He's beautifully laced out. Amory inside 50. That was about a 50-metre pass there, and he's just hit the target out. Meanwhile, Tyrell Corey limps to the interchange bench, and he sort of went down as if a pretty significant joint in his leg had been shot. He looked in all sorts, and he's just trying to stretch it out now. His right knee already heavily taped, so hopefully we'll see him again out there tonight. Meanwhile, Elijah Amory lining up for goal. Umpire doesn't move. He puts through another one.
Yeah, he's another one who wants to make his mark in this Premier League team. He was in and out last year as well, so that was a great goal from him, and he is a very, very quick, agile player, so hopefully he can stay in this team for weeks to come.
48-point margin again on the scoreboard. St Mary's moved to 8.56, and just that pass. He had a bit of contact coming in from Thane Bake, but Amory's mark there was well set up by Jade McGrath, and that's just a bit of class from his days on an AFL list. Brings a lot of class. Bit of X factor as well to their forward line. Doesn't necessarily kick as many goals as you'd like from a player of his calibre, but when he's setting them up, you won't mind that at all. Now, Walters bullocking his way through. Lant got it out. Amory pushes high up the ground. Braunthal out to the wing and he finds Amory, who will take it, barely break stride. Kick it a little bit shy. McGrath gives it off to Amory, who kept running. He now pushes it to the hot spot. Calder out one-on-one. I think he's in a good spot there. Spills through hands and over for a behind. In fact, it won't register a score. It's hit the out-of-bounds post.
Yeah, I've got the inside 50 count at 20-7 at the moment, in Saints' favour, believe it or not. But yeah, Saints, I've probably got that wrong, but Saints have definitely left a few goals on the table here, which is concerning for Wanderers.
And that is a big problem as well. As you say, they could have been a lot more damaging than that. 8 goals, 9 as well. None of them really stand out as ones they could have kicked, but none of them stand out as ones that, you know, were really, really difficult either. So the margin could be much more significant in the context of the game. Now, Shanks gets it out. Blind handball goes over the top to McManus, and now he tried to get a boot to ball. Maybe should have looked for Henry Lovell instead as he turns it over, and Matty Green again picks it up. Great to see him return from an ACL injury last week, and he's picked up where he left off a few years ago as well. He's been really dominant the first game and a half he's played here back in the NTFL.
No doubt, I think he was Saints' best last week as well.
So Darren Walters will jump in the ruck for St Mary's up against Tyler Phillips. Again, Phillips is doing a pretty good job, albeit being undermanned. Doing some work as a midfielder there too. No one can take the footy. Umpire will call for a ball up.
See what Wanderers can do from this stoppage, because look at all the numbers Saints have got out there. They've got Matty Green and Will Robinson just sitting there ready for a Wanderers clearance.
Kicked out of there. And Robinson, he was flying for it. Running back through traffic was Green. Williamson gets it out. Now it'll come back to Jack Lant. Good work though from Willis to run through and intercept. Now comes back to Williamson. And Brennan, he switches, goes into two Saints in space. Parnell gets it over the top to Braunthal, then to Vallejo. He kept running or needed to make a decision. Instead, he hesitated. Wanderers, maybe they've got a chance here on the turnover. Needs to be quick. Oh, good smother, good pressure from St Mary's. Nothing's going to come easy for them tonight. Here comes Lovell. Inside 50, run down nearly, got it away. And White, he kicks it, he blazes away across the face. He had 2 players loose. The defender was split between them, and he's just wasted the opportunity. In fact, I don't think it's even gone out of bounds on the full. Saints will take possession in the back pocket. And if you got Saints making the most of their opportunities, Wanderers are blowing a few of the few that they have.
Yeah, Jackson Braunthal with 15 disposals. I didn't realise he had that much, but he's been racking them up tonight.
Jack Lant, he runs over the ball now. Driven into the ground, umpire will call for a ball up.
Yeah, Wanderers were out there. I think they were all just caught in 2 minds, just didn't know which one to go with. They just took their first option, trusted their instinct, and they would have been 6 points to them, I'm sure.
Kicked out of there by the Wanderers to a 2-on-1. Brennan maybe interrupted the flow of play there. Now Robinson has to be clean. Needs to keep his feet. He didn't, but Williamson's done a very good job. Umpire calls play on, socked forward by McRae and then taken out of bounds.
Wanderers backline will be very happy that they've got a bit of forward 50 footy to play. They don't have to be redefending very many entries, so this will be good for them, and hopefully they can set up a wall here and create some dominance.
So inside the Wanderers forward 50, they need to get some reward for effort in this contest. Instead, it's Walters who just takes it out of there, though. He slips over. White, boot to ball. Can't get any purchase on it. Williamson out wide looking for Lant. Handball keeps going. Braunthal over the top to Dylan Lant. Inboard again to Paredes, had to stop in his tracks to take it, goes back to land, now into Green, who's also kept running in through the corridor. His kick forward will be chopped off by Fraser Bradley, a long way from home. He'll be put under pressure from Vallejo, who slings into the ground. Umpire calls play on. Other one says it was dangerous, and advantage is called as well. Now comes through Willis, he gets it off on board as well. Comes back through traffic. White, he throws it onto his boot, just gets it into the forward 50. Now comes Webb, shot on goal. Across the face, hits the deck and rolls out of bounds without troubling the scorers.
These Wanderers are getting some of the footy now. Saints haven't had to touch it for a while, so they're inside 50. They just need to have a bit of polish going inside. They need a shot on goal or something, because that was nowhere near it. It looks like Tyrell Corey's back out there, yep, which is a very good news for Wanderers, so they're not one short in this very hot of a Saturday.
Yes, the heat policy, the extreme heat policy is brought in to round 3 games across the NTFL. Now with Jack Lant, he pushes it across the face. Robinson gets a handball out. If they've gone for a switch, Parnell will go for a little trot. Second bounce, third bounce now, fourth bounce, gets a handball over the top to Lant. Lant will now go for a run, his first bounce, and he goes inside 50 looking for Braunful. Couldn't take the mark, puts himself under pressure, gives a little high one up. Calder, ball comes to his feet. Moo now chasing it on the ground. Picks it up, no. Bradley, it looks like Bradley's been moved to the back line, which is an interesting move. We'll discuss in just a second, Leo, as the ball is taken out of bounds. And you're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 2025-26 TIO NTFL season live on NT News and Community TV. Just a bit of a blood rule, and I think it's going to be Dylan Lant, the captain, heading off the ground. But it looks like they've taken their spearhead, Leo, Fraser Bradley, into the back line.
Yeah, I think they need that bit of composure down there. It just seems a bit manic stations in that back line. It's just kind of panic, and they just can't get it out cleanly, so hopefully he can provide some good leadership and steer that ship a bit and get Wanderers back into this game.
Leaves them with a bit of a small forward line now. Looks like Cody Leggett is up there, but I suspect he's only resting. They can't do without him around the ball for too long. Ball will come back in now. In fact, there's Leggett there. Now with McManus over the top to Clee, back to McManus. I just had to handball it to get rid of it. He was being lined up. And that will be the first half. So St Mary's have almost doubled their score in that quarter. 4 goals, 3 they kicked. Meanwhile, Wanderers get their first goal of any first half in this season, thanks to Henry Lovell. We have a 48-point margin. How do you read that first half, Leo?
Yeah, definitely St Mary's dominant. I think they just had that composure that Wanderers didn't. They just, in the terms of Kieran Parnell and Dylan Lant and Jack Lant and Nate Paredes, they just know what they're doing with the footy. And yeah, the superstars of St Mary's have come to play, and they are all shining lights, and Wanderers have got a lot to think about coming into this third quarter.
Saturday night, round 3 from TIO Stadium. Famous rivalry. It is St Mary's by 48 points.
We're for being in it together. Like Danny's team. She'll be captain next year.
For real?
For real! Or like this couple, celebrating their anniversary.
29 years today.
30?
Whoops, awkward. Well, congrats either way. And Sarah. She loves walking at East Point every Saturday with her besties.
Keep up.
I'm trying, Sarah. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston, where you're always welcome. Our cafe is the perfect place to unwind while the kids let loose in our fully supervised kids club. From our weekly lunch deals to nightly dinner specials, great steak, schnitzels, all your favourite pub classics and modern Asian cuisine. A great selection of drinks, tasty meals, a bit of friendly competition and the best sport. Kazali's has got you sorted. Check out what's happening at kazalisnt.com.au.
Are you ready to beat the coach?
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot in this thing. This is my city, yeah, this is my team.
Play now at supercoach.com.au.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Bring it up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it.
Top End Footy is back. It's fast, tough and a pure display of Territory passion. From the heat of the day to the electricity of the night games, every clash is fierce. Each moment better than the last.
Goal! They're into front!
This is our game, our way. Top End Footy. Nothing comes close.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. You're watching round 3 action between Wanderers and St Mary's of the 2025-26 NTFL season. I'm Will Zwar. With me is Leo King, and we have what do we have here, Leo? We've got a 49-point margin at TIO Stadium. What are your thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, definitely Saints dominant, as I said before, and just the composure of those Saints experienced players just really paid dividends, and Wanderers just couldn't really get it going forward. They were just kept those fumbles and were caught in two minds, so hopefully they can fix that up and get something out of this second half.
Goal scorers for that first half. 2 goals to Jack Land, both in that second quarter, and 2 goals to Luke Patterson. Singles for St Mary's to Elijah Amory, Nate Paredes, Jackson Calder and Jackson Braunthal. And for Wanderers, it was a sole goal to Henry Lovell. Is there anyone from St Mary's, Leo, that you've had an eye on who you think maybe not the biggest first half, but they could be ready to explode in this second?
Definitely Jackson Calder. Only one to his name with 8 goals to St Mary's, and that's pretty scary for Wanderers if he hasn't done much. And there's also Dylan Land. I feel like he's by his lofty standards, hasn't been to his best, because he's had Nate Paredes and his brother there doing the heavy lifting, so those two could definitely take over this second half.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's plenty of names for Wanderers who, down the other end, can lift their standards in this second quarter, but in particular, I've said it a few times this week and last week, but I've liked the look of Fraser Bradley. It looks like he might be starting on a wing here to start this second quarter. Sonny Smiler, he's probably someone who's flown under the radar a little bit, maybe hasn't done as much as you'd like. He is still just a young man, but as far as this team is concerned, he's got a lot of experience and he's supposedly got a bright future ahead. They'd love him to start capitalising on that now. And Tyson White is another one who I think maybe not the tallest bloke, but they could use him as a focal point in their setup going forward. The extreme heat policy is in place here as well. It is late. It's about 7:45 local time, but the temperature is still a very hot 30 degrees. So that will have an impact on this game, you'd think, as well, Leo. Potentially that interchange bench will be getting a bit more of a workout, maybe a few tighter players earlier.
No doubt. We'll see how we go.
And it looks like it's Phillips who, again, doing very well as an undersized ruck, gets the first hit out of the second half. Now rolling back through. Bradley couldn't take a mark on the wing, but on the half volley, he then stands up and gets it inside 50. Finds Sonny Smiler, and a few of those names who we're wanting to lift, Leo, have started early.
Great stuff for Wanderers out of the guts there. That's what they wanted, and they've got a mark and a shot on goal here. And as you said, Sonny Smiler, he's a bit of a barometer for Wanderers, so if he could put this through, it'd definitely lift their spirits.
Be a big kick. I wonder if he's got it in him. He'll be kicking from just outside the paint, you'd think. Gee, it's got a bit of hoof on it. Cleared the fingers in the end, but was offline and went through for a point. So they get a score early in this third quarter. Green will look to move it again pretty quickly. Comes out and finds Kent.
He's another one, Tyson Kent, who's been in and out of the Premier League team last season, so he'll hopefully put a good 2025 season together and hope to find himself at the business end in the Premier League team.
Hesitated a little bit. He'll get a 1-2 from Matty Green in the end. And then goes to Paredes, who again, gee, he's just moving beautifully at ground level, isn't he? Time standing still when he's around. Now St Mary's going inside the forward 50. Moo, he's almost been a bit too quick on it. Faster than the speed of the ball. Moo a few times tonight. Now comes back Paredes. Wiggles out of the tackle, gets boot to ball. Not enough though. Umpire pings him for holding, and the Wanderers are away. Off that half-back line they go. Here comes Arthur, looking to give a bit of a don't argue, put him on his wrong side. Not a great kick, but Smiler can run onto it and make it his own. He gets through one, dances around another, now puts onto the lead, goes through the hands of Tyson White. He's got 2 to beat here. Can he do it? He's trying to distance himself from Williamson. Now runs around, umpire calls play on. Williamson lays another tackle and the ball's out of bounds in that deep forward pocket in front of the St Mary's clubhouse.
Both teams looked really good then. The slingshot play, Tyson Kent with 3 disposals then through the middle of the ground. Wanderers went on transition off that great tackle, so both teams looking good in this second half. See how they go.
Reed in front position, taps it down. Land bandaged up. A little bit like Jack Steele, who plays for the Tiwi Bombers up here as well, which I'm sure Jack Steele will take great pleasure to hear. Maybe not. Ball comes down now. Pops out. Wirchin to the top of the square. Robinson's just read it best. White may be too concerned with his opponent.
Yeah, I reckon he'd make a pretty good key back, Will Robinson. He has played as an undersized ruck last year, and I think this role will suit him really well.
I think he'd be much more keen to play in the back line than the ruck as well. He looked a bit out of place in some of those contests when he's coming up against White, Ryan, Matty Dennis and the likes of them. Now here comes Dos Santos. And Wanderers turn it over in their forward line. Moo gets a handball out wide looking for Reid. Reid almost held without it and then shrugged away. Umpire said there was nothing in it. Leggett picks it up, then he's taken the ground, then gets it over the top. Wanderers are moving pretty slickly here. Gee, not a good snap though. Finds itself at the hot spot. Webb falls through his hands. Robinson gets it through to Lant, and Lant is going to dash away. Looking at it now, not a good kick. Here comes Bradley. Now pokes it forward. They're in the centre corridor inside their forward 50, but they haven't felt dangerous really. Now Green, he gets it away, will take a bounce. White gave up probably just as he could have snapped him down and lets Green get out of that defensive 50. Lant can't take the mark, but again just allowed too much space to move freely. Hagan and Parnell. Oh, Parnell if you don't mind as well. There's just no pressure on this St Mary's side. They're getting it way too easy, and that's a beautiful kick down to Jackson Calder. He's not going to go for goal. He'll pass it off. Maybe should have gone for goal. That was intercepted there. Comes back. Now Braunthal. He snaps it high to the hot spot. There's two Saints there. They just need to bring it to ground. Brought it to the wrong side, though. Motlop fumbles in the goal square and takes it over the line. Good play on now. Clee. McRae. Smiler. Building slowly. We haven't seen a lot of this in that first half, Leo, have we? Just that building, continued possession getting.
No, it's just been off turnover, just slingshot game.
And now Kent is there to crumb in that back line. Nearly run down, but got a handball away safely to Lant. He now pushes it out wide, looking for Mitchy Musgrove. Probably a little bit quieter in that first half as well.
Yeah, definitely. He's someone that could set this game alight.
Plenty of space to fumble a bounce, pick it up and regain composure. Now dances around his opponent. Oh, he's hit pretty heavy after he got rid of it. Umpires let it go. Kick goes high, finds Leggett by himself. He now looks to move. Kicks it long. Oh, good mark there from Webb. No, not paid. Umpire says play on. Had to get a handball through. Arthur gets around one. I think he should have gone for a different option there. Instead, he's wasted what could have been a golden opportunity.
Yeah, pretty stiff not to get that mark there. I think Jackson Calder had one of them in the first quarter, so Wanderers wouldn't be very happy with that.
Parnell takes the mark out in the back flank. Goes to Jack Lant now. Almost looking to cross goal. Is he working with that sort of flair? Is that where he feels like the team's at the moment?
Yeah, it must be. I think Saints just going to take the speed out of this game a bit, just get a bit of composure and play that possession footy that they love to do.
Lant will come back through now, pushes it down the line, looks for his brother. He now rolls round, gets around another. They have it on an absolute string here. They're playing Lant ball at TIO Stadium.
Lant ball, I rate that.
And now Smith-Thompson pushes it down the line, and Wanderers could be away. Here comes Lovell, their only goal scorer for the night. And Robinson's done very well to keep possession there. Now with Brennan, not much forward. He can go laterally or he can push it high. Instead, he puts Hodges under pressure, but Brennan gets it back. Maybe that was the plan all along. Into the middle of the ground, he goes to Braunthal. He'll turn and give it to Vallejo on the fly. Inside 50, he's got two. They need to talk. And Patterson has taken a great mark on a lead there out of the goal square.
Yeah, Wanderers need to defend the corridor a bit more because Saints are just piercing through it every time and just having silky service to their big key forwards in Patterson and Calder. And that was pretty good St Mary's footy there from the back half. That's what they love to do.
In comes Patterson. A bit of a staggered sort of run up there. Very high, it's pushed wide, won't register for a score in fact. He's gone hell of a full there. Not a good kick at all. Smith-Thompson. Not a good kick. Musgrove, can he make the most of this? Off one step. Umpire didn't move, and Mitch Musgrove gets himself involved.
Yeah, I don't know if playing on was the right call there. I don't know. I thought he might have thought it wasn't 15, but it doesn't matter. He's absolutely dobbed that one through. That is a great goal, and as we were saying, he could probably have a better second half, and he has definitely started well.
St Mary's get their first goal of the quarter. 8 minutes in, so Wanderers have started much more defensively here, but just those lapses are still present in their game at the moment. And Musgrove, that was just a bit too pedestrian in terms of the effort he was facing. Didn't really have to worry too much. Quick step, shot through for a 6-pointer.
Yeah, Wanderers would be filthy in the score when they had that inside 50 dominance. They were dominating there, and they just couldn't put one through the big sticks, and now Saints go to the other end and do that very thing.
Tap down there by Walters. Free kick will go the way of St Mary's. Lant moves on pretty quick. Now pushes it into the pocket, looking for Calder. 2 to beat. Comes off hands. Amory trying to get to it before the boundary line does. And it'll be a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, we'll see how we go here. Wanderers have really struggled in the contest all night. Saints have been very dominant there, so hopefully they can equalise this one or win it themselves. They've got pretty even numbers ahead of the ball, so hopefully they can get into those big forwards.
So Phillips, he gets it through there. Smith-Thompson nearly taken high. Clee gets a handball through. Phillips also a kick away. Umpire calls play on. Now over the top. And Paredes, I think, was dumped as he went down. Umpire says advantage. I don't really know if it was a strong advantage at the time. In the middle of the ground, Hodges muscles his way to the fall of the ball, but the Wanderers are there to pick it up at ground level. Webb, he gets away. Now he'll have another crack at it. No, Shanks is at the bottom of the pack. Umpire will call for a ball up.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about with Wanderers, isn't it? You know, they had that runner off half back there where they could have been gone, and it was just that little fumble that just stopped them in their tracks.
Tapped down there by Phillips. Hagan goes through his deck. He's really sort of quieted down since quarter time. Leggett gets it over the top. Lovell back to Leggett. Goes through the hands of Fijo and then nutmegs him. Lovell soccers it forward. Lovell playing a much better brand of footy tonight. Arthur and Hodges off your screen, just having a little bit to say to each other. Matty Green having to get involved. Good intercept there from Phillips. And then Brennan try to make... Oh, they're open here. Wanderers have 2 plays forward, 2 to pick from. Here comes Fraser Bradley, streams into an open goal. And the Wanderers finally pounce on a St Mary's mistake. Probably the first time all season they've been able to make the most of their opponent's muck around.
Yeah, that was great pressure there from Wanderers, and they were finally going to get the opportunity. It was going to open up eventually, and that finally did. That was really good pressure in the middle of the ground there, and that was a very well-deserved goal from Wanderers, and hopefully they can take some things out of the second half, and that is definitely one of them.
Good work for Sonny Smiler there as well to just have a quick glance up before he blazed away. I think even if he blazed away, it would have been a pretty good position for him, but he's put that as closely as he can to the advantage of Fraser Bradley, and they reduce the margin now back down to 49 points. 7 goals, 7 the difference. St Mary's 9-10-64 to the Wanderers 2-3-15. Ball comes down. Leggett looking to break through again. Just gets out. Almost looked like it was Williamson, the forward there. Such was his position in front of Webb. That's a wide kick, and that'll go out of bounds on the full, you'd think. Lovell really liked what he's brought to tonight's game.
Yeah, definitely one of Wanderers' best, no doubt.
Good kick there, good mark from Webb. Umpire says play on. I thought he did enough there to control it, to earn.
Yeah, I would have paid that. He's been good as well, Webb. He's had a really good third quarter. He's put his physical presence out there for the Wanderers.
Comes down now. Ball finds itself in the hands of Lovell again. Here comes Walters. Umpire says, let it go through. Now it comes out to Jack Lamb. Again, the Saints just have the runners quicker out of the pack. He goes long to about 65 out. His kick couldn't find a mark. Patterson, he rolls through, puts it into the centre corridor. Foot race here. Musgrove takes it, sells a bit of candy, goes through. How good is that from the Saints?
Oh, that's fantastic. Give it to Jack Lamb. Great kick to quarter, spills it. Then there's a crummer, and then it lands to Mitchy Musgrove, and he does the rest. Lost his feet, gets up, sells candy, kicks a goal. That is what he does, and that is a great third quarter for Mitchy Musgrove. 2 goals already.
Yeah, he was one who we said perhaps needed to lift it in this third quarter, and he certainly has. How good's this, though? Running back through traffic, slips over, a little bit of candy, bang.
Yeah, nearly missed that. If he turned around and hit the post, that would have been pretty embarrassing, but he knew that was going in the whole way, I reckon.
So that margin now back out to 55 points. Wanderers seemed like they were going to start building, didn't it, Leo?
Yeah, they did. It's just that's kind of been the story of the day. Whenever they've had dominance, just Saints answer, and they're just a bit outclassed tonight, I think.
Tap down, socket forward for St Mary's. Now taken out there by McManus. Lovell. I think McManus has kept running. He's also been pretty good tonight. First time we've seen him this year. Leg it with a little one-hander, if you don't mind. Pointed to goals, then goes across to Smiler. Wouldn't take the mark. Kept it in his advantage. Finally takes it out, snaps forward. Nothing really there presenting, though. That's a bad fumble from Kent, close to the line, and goes over for a point. Pushes it out wide. Oh, good work from Bradley just to get fingertips to it. Spills out, and wasted opportunity for St Mary's. Wanderers have done well to keep it in their vicinity.
Yeah, that's what you want if you're Wanderers. You just want to be playing a forward half game. Just get a bit of dominance there, set up the wall, and just try and one will go through eventually if you keep peppering the St Mary's back line, which have been outstanding tonight.
Ball pops over, Reid gets the tap down, Smiler handballs out. Willis maybe cops a bit of high contact. Umpire will call for a ball up.
Yeah, Dylan Nant's still pretty quiet tonight. We'll see if he can take over this game in the last quarter and a half.
There he goes on cue, little handball away. Intercepted though, and now McRae, he pushes it into that forward 50 and rolls over the boundary line.
Yeah, every ball that's going inside 50 for Wanderers is just a mongrel. It's just going in real forward spinning and everything. They just need to kind of lower their eyes and hit a target and just... Because I think that's what they're lacking here is a bit of polish. They've had a fair share of inside 50s in this last quarter and a half, and they just can't capitalise on them.
Probably looking for a little bit of tall timber as well, even just to provide some structure and a target, an obvious target to go to.
100%.
Ball up in that forward 50, 45-degree angle, about 40 metres out from goal for the Wanderers. Just 2 for the evening. Good high mark there from Musgrove, who's come alive in this third quarter. Gets a handball over the top, gets it back, going for a little dash. Oh, I thought that was nearly a mark. Instead, it's paddled forward to Paredes. He check sides it forward, looking. Oh, that was very easily taken there by McWilliams. Just a little bit too much space. Now he goes inside the centre corridor looking for Calder, comes off hands. Moo lurking. If he stayed where he was, maybe he would have been the beneficiary of that, but instead McManus picks it up, turns through himself, and then comes out this near side. Smiler takes a mark. 2 bites the cherry.
He's got a player inside, hits him.
Or just a little bit of a fumble. Maybe it is getting a little bit dewy out there now, Leo. As it was probably a mark that should have been taken from the Wanderers, and again, instead, it's St Mary's who are looking dangerous. Wanderers get it out there to Smiler again. Gives it off. I reckon there's half a chance it's going to come straight back here to Smiler. And there we go. Takes the mark. Umpire says not enough on it. Arthur putting pressure on. Patterson gets it over to Vallejo. Now back to Kent. He goes out wide. Finds McGrath. McGrath will turn and go. And just puts it in front of the champ. Oh, beautifully done.
Yeah, that was about time for St Mary's. Had a bit of dominance as Calder passes it to Land. Yeah, Saints were always going to score there. That was a good kick by Aaron McWilliams earlier. The young, I think he's only 16, nearly hit champ, and then they get it back in, and they're not going to make too many mistakes.
I think Dylan Land is very lucky there. I reckon he definitely took a step, but the umpire's giving him benefit of the doubt, and he's going to go back and line up for what would be his first of the evening.
Yeah, love this one. He had 2 last week, I believe, so he's in some good goal kicking form in this very early part of the season.
2 goals against Southern Districts in that grand final replay. His 3rd of the season is yet to be kicked. Just to behind. And again, 55 points the margin. Ambitious play on from fullback. Dos Santos just had to hoik it out of there. Now, here comes Shanks. Kick goes inboard, but there's plenty of green and gold jumpers again, and about 20 metres to the good in that corridor. They're all there. Instead, he pushes to the fat side. Mark not taken. There goes Land this time. Again, it's to the left, and that one won't register for a score, but they live to fight another day. We'll have a boundary throw in as we approach the 19-minute mark of this 3rd quarter here, and you're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2025-26 TIO NTFL season live on NT News and Community TV. Ball comes in now. What can Saints make of this? Just the 2 goals for the quarter for them. Gets out into that opposite pocket. Calder doing the chasing. Wanderers get it out of there. And there's a little bit of cramp happening on this near side wing. Webb just getting down on his haunches. We do know it's hot in Darwin this weekend. The extreme heat policy is at play. Kent with the ball on the back flank. Good cross there to Robinson. And now he goes out wide, looking for Hodges. So the sting has been taken a little bit out of this one in this quarter. St Mary's have extended their lead briefly.
Yeah, it seems Wanderers have sharped up defensively in this quarter, and they've had a bit more of the ball and have gone forward a bit more. Should have a few more goals to say for it, but an improved quarter from Wanderers, and Saints just lacked a little bit of polish that they had in the first half in this 3rd term. But both teams, I'd say, were pretty satisfied with that quarter.
It will be St Mary's who go into the 3-quarter time break with a 55-point lead. 10-11-71 to the Wanderers, 2-4-16. We'll bring you that final quarter after this break.
We're for being in it together. Like Danny's team. She'll be captain next year.
For real?
For real! Or like this couple, celebrating their anniversary.
29 years today.
30?
Whoops, awkward. Well, congrats either way. And Sarah. She loves walking at East Point every Saturday with her besties.
Keep up.
I'm trying, Sarah. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston, where you're always welcome. Our cafe is the perfect place to unwind while the kids let loose in our fully supervised kids club. From our weekly lunch deals to nightly dinner specials, great steak, schnitzels, all your favourite pub classics and modern Asian cuisine. A great selection of drinks, tasty meals, a bit of friendly competition and the best sport. Kazali's has got you sorted. Check out what's happening at kazalisnt.com.au.
Are you ready to beat the coach?
This ain't no regular thing. King for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot in this clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team.
Play now at supercoach.com.au.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
bring it up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Bring it back, up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it.
Top End footy is back. It's fast, tough and a pure display of territory passion. From the heat of the day to the electricity of the night games, every clash is fierce. Each moment better than the last.
Goal! They're into front!
This is our game, our way. Top End footy. Nothing comes close.
G'day and welcome back to the 2025-26 NTFL season, round 3 with the St Mary's and the Wanderers with a score of 10-11, 71 to 2-4, 16 St Mary's way. So, Will, what do you want to see from the Wanderers? Sorry, Will, what do you want to see from the Wanderers in this final term?
No, always ready to go, Leo. Wanderers, I think we want to see a little bit more scoreboard pressure at the moment. They've only kicked 2 goals for 3 quarters, and it's really been a sore point for them this year. I think that's probably the main thing, and also just to keep going until that final siren goes. I think if they're scoring goals, it's obviously going to stop the amount of goals Saints can kick. But if they can sort of maintain this margin, even reduce it a little bit, then it'll just put them in some good stead. It's going to be tough. It's hot out there. Saints are coming off a bye, but that's what I think Aaron Motlop would be chasing from them as this final quarter gets underway.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty tough for top 3 this year, so Saints will be definitely looking for a percentage boost, and that's probably what chopper Anthony Vallejo has been putting into his players at 3/4 time.
And I think that's definitely the mark for them. Anything shorter than 3rd place for St Mary's, Southern Districts and Nightcliff is a fail there. I think far and away the 3 best sides that you see on paper out there at the moment. As the ball goes inside 50 for the Wanderers, they're starting with a little bit of pep, though the ball goes up and out. Can't be taken there, and gee, doing very well there. I think that's Brennan. Braunthal, he now gets it to land. Good mark. Oh no, comes off hands of McGrath. He's hurt himself on his way down. Braunthal, he now goes down the field looking for Paredes. Again, how much time is he given? It's incredible how he can find it, and just stops, was given a couple of seconds. Not the best kick from him, but St Mary's quick as a flash, get it inside their forward 50.
McGrath seems to be okay, which is all good news for St Mary's. Looked like a pretty nasty fall, but yeah, Paredes had a pretty quiet 3rd quarter after setting the game alight in the first half, so we'll see how he goes in this final term and what St Mary's can do from this forward stoppage, which they have had plenty of tonight.
Ball comes in. Tap down, no. Lant, he's running his way through. Now here comes Vallejo. Picks it up, snaps on goal. Umpire doesn't move. Saints get the first one pretty easy. Vallejo's looking a bit tight though. Hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, looks like just a cramp. He's stretching it out, so he should be fine. But that's great. That is great front and centre work there from Vallejo. Timed that perfectly right there and just feed it on the crumbs and kicked a goal, which was fantastic for him.
As you said, great work there, and if you kind of look there at how he's instantly swiveled the ball onto his boot, that's exactly how you want to do. If you learn how to kick your snap on goal, it's that quick readjustment with your hands as soon as you get it, so that when boot goes to ball, the ball's already in prime position.
Looked like he just had a little roll of the ankle there when he landed on his kicking foot, so it looks like he's fine, so no dramas there.
Paredes has been moved into the middle. It sort of seemed like he's played a little bit more in the forward line. His stats line also says he played as a forward down south in his season away from the Northern Territory. He might have kicked 34 goals in that season, which is a pretty handy return. Here comes McGrath now. Ball spills out. Braunthal. Oh, gee, good follow-up tackle there. Great second effort. Ball kept alive by Patterson, and now finds itself over that boundary line.
Yeah, he looks dangerous, doesn't he, Braunthal? If he gets out the back, good luck catching him. So he's had a really good game today, and he's definitely established himself in the St Mary's Premier League team. Yeah, they've definitely injected some speed into this team this year, Saints, with Moo and Braunthal here. That's something they probably lacked last year.
I think there's, last year, at least 3 Moos all playing for the one club. This year, they're all playing for completely different clubs. So interesting to see how those decisions were made there, perhaps in tandem, perhaps all individually. One for Banks, one for Waratah, and one for St Mary's. Out there, Kieran's been doing very well tonight. Meanwhile, on the footy, Sonny Smiler, the target there, almost put in a pretty dangerous position there, going back with the flight. He could sense Robinson coming in from the side, and the ball spills out over that boundary line.
Yeah, he's been good, Sonny Smiler, in the second half. As you said, he needed to inject himself, and he has been something for Wanderers. He's definitely had a fair few possessions in that last quarter, so hopefully he can continue that into the fourth.
Ball comes in now. Reed's been really good tonight, and as you said, a great addition to this St Mary's side. He struggled a little bit without a ruck last year. Land gets boot to ball, pokes it forward. Oh, good body work there from Patterson. He now goes into Calder in the pocket, picks it up on the half volley, rolls around, goes through hands. Paredes wrapped up as soon as he took it, and umpire will call for a ball up. That was great work there from Calder again. Providing that spearhead roll, not really getting much of a look on the goals themselves tonight, but when he gets deep in the pocket, he's just able to look into the centre corridor and find the target. Ball comes up, comes to Mitch Musgrove from 49. He pushes it. Calder in good spot again, bounces off his chest. Move. Gets through one tackle, gets through another one. The third one takes him down. Umpire gives the free kick away, holding the ball.
Yeah, great tackle there. He was definitely going to kick that if he got spun out of that one somehow.
Now pushed out. Goes through. Taps down there by Berry it was in the end. He gets it back. Umpire will call for a boundary throw-in.
Seems Kevin Smith-Thompson's got a very sore shoulder. He's just working it. Hopefully he's okay. I'm not sure how that happened, but hopefully he's good to go, because Wanderers do not want to go one short on the bench for this very hot final term when they're all exhausted.
And there is potentially that fear in Aaron Motlop's mind that it could blow out even further if they do succumb to an injury, or if that heat really has an impact. Here comes Green. Turns it back around to Braunthal. Spills through hands. Now comes to Smiler. Gets a handball away. Now to Leggett. He's being well held by Vallejo there. Almost feel like he could have got a free kick, but it didn't matter as McRae turns around. Oh, that's not a good kick. He picks out Matty Green. Now he goes laterally, Parnell.
Yeah, Saints would love having Kieran Parnell back. Just adds that composure down back, and he's just Mr. Reliable. Very, very rarely makes a mistake.
Famously given the task on Gary Ablett Jr. a few years ago. Did a pretty good night that night as well. Pretty good job that night, I should say. Jackson Calder a long way from home. Looking for his options, going for a spin with the ball. Now lines up, has a second thought. Looking for Patterson, goes through his hands. Leggett gets it out of there. Calder stops it from going too far, then Fuller gives it off to Clee, who will go for a bit of a dash. Down the line looking for Bradley. Good work from Robinson just to get a fist to it, and it spills out over the boundary line.
Yeah, Saints very dominant in this final quarter so far. They've had all the ball and all the entries, but just nothing to show for it so far, except for maybe one goal. And Wanderers would want to. They've held up pretty well defensively, but they want to get a bit of forward half footy going. But Saints seem to have a pretty good wall defensively set up, so hopefully Wanderers can pierce through that.
Wanderers did much better last quarter, conceded just 2 goals and kicked 1 themselves, so a deficit of just 5 points in the end. They'd be hoping for something similar this quarter. They've started in similar fashion, as you said, just 1 goal to St Mary's after the first almost 8 minutes now, as Matty Green rolls back to full-back with the ball in hand. He's now going for a little dash as well. Pushes down the line. Gee, that is a beautiful kick. Finds Kent. Arthur needed to be careful there. Sticking very close to Parnell. Kent told to move. Pushes it across the ground looking for Lant. Now he goes out there to Brennan. Well, we've got a few to beat here, Brennan and Robinson. They seem to do so relatively easily. Oh, that's a tight kick. Gee, weighted perfectly. And lucky there, I think Kent went to move, but the ball slipped out. And all that happened before the umpire could call play on, so there was no advantage really there. Green now takes it and he pushes it into the forward pocket. Great kick again to Calder, and finally he might get a look in for another score.
Would this be his second or third if he kicks this one?
Just his second. He's only got the 1 tonight. We noted he's not wearing his typical number 24 Guernsey, instead donning the 36. Unsure if it's been lost in the laundry somewhere.
Yeah,
you didn't wear number 24 today, did you, Leo?
No, that's not me. Didn't steal it from him. But you can't keep him down for long. I wouldn't surprise me if he kicks this, not to put the knockers on him, but we'll see how he goes.
Tight angle. Leo King has called it. Let's see how we go. Oh, it's coming back beautifully. Just didn't quite have enough on it. Spilled and touched through for a behind.
Well, I think this is a good thing for St Mary's without having Jackson Calder kicking 6 goals or anything. They've gotten some other avenues to goal, which is really, really pleasing and will really help them for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it is quite phenomenal how sort of year on year for the last probably half decade almost, they've stayed up the top of the ladder, and they've done so sort of almost alternating game by game, with him dominating the score sheet, kicking bags of 10. I think he might have even kicked a bag of 11 or 12 in there one day. And also having nights where he's only kicked 1 or 2, but the rest of the team has shone through. And I mean, that's been the way, as I said, for about 5 years now. So doing very well there. 100-game player for the club. Absolute champion. Now here comes Dylan Lant. Have you seen his second half? Has he picked up, Leo?
I think he has, yeah. I've just looked at the disposals, and I think he's up to like 27 or 28, so he just keeps racking them up somehow. And yeah, he's probably not up to his lofty standards that he's set for himself, but no, definitely had a good game. And if he kicks this, that'd really top it off. But I won't put the knockers on anyone here.
So Lant, tight angle, not beyond him by any means. Comes in and he puts it through. So his first goal of the night as well in this last quarter, their second. And they extend the margin again, now out to 62 points. 68 points will be at now.
Yeah, Saints have dominated this final quarter so far. They've had plenty of entries, just no score to show for it. And Dylan Lant just decides to dob one through, a captain's goal there. And Saints are really looking to boost that percentage, because come the end of the year, if they're fighting for with Tiwi or Nycliffe for that 3rd or 2nd spot, they'll need these percentage boosts. So this is a pretty important game for them going forward.
Lant was going to try and start at the sort of second deepest forward, almost a little bit of a forward pocket roll there, and instead someone said, nah, up to the middle you go, we've done a rotation. So I was going to say you won't be able to make it 2 in a row, but who knows, from him anything's possible. Tap down, popped out there. Amory gets it to Lant. He now pushes it in front of Braunthal. Couldn't take it cleanly, had to spin around with Motlop. Amory going off to give support. Bradley, well, that works for him. Now gives it to McRae. Gives it off to a runner there in Shanks. And then off to Wirchin, back to Shanks. Almost taken high by Green. Got it away, Wirchin. Little 1, 2, 3, 4 between the pair. Now with Willis, he's wrapped up. Give away a free kick.
It's a great tackle there by Darren Walters, and I think this is really helping St Mary's, having 2 proper ruckmen. They can get it to their all-star midfielders, not an undersized ruckman as they had in Will Robinson last year, and they can use him in a different role, which will really benefit them for the rest of the year.
Smith-Thompson goes to Phillips. They work it forward to Smiler, who's showing glimpses, but he sort of needs to put a little bit more together for longer. Wirchin, he pushes it out wide. Willis goes inboard, and he finds a target pretty easy there in McManus.
Yeah, hopefully Wanderers can get a couple goals before the end of this game. Just put a bit more of a respectable score on the board, and hopefully take a few key things away from this game going forward. I mean, they haven't been dismal tonight. They just hasn't gone their way. Haven't had that polish that St Mary's have had. So hopefully this one goes through and they can have a little bit more of a respectable score.
They come now. That one. Oh, Smiler takes a mark in the goal square. Flew over nothing. Invisible stepladder.
Yeah, he has got a leap on him. He can really jump. If he's got that ball at full leap and full stretch, good luck spoiling that. He is a wonder to watch. Really can set a game alight.
So Sonny Smiler, reward for effort tonight has been pretty handy. Hopes of their season arguably rest on him along with a few others, and he's shown some really good glimpses. Don't think he'd be eligible for the draft this year, but I think the Wanderers would want to make the most of him while they've got him, because he might be off to the big smoke in a few years' time. Have a look at this mark here. Good kick from McManus, just looking for the top of the square. And then Smiler, he took a hanger over no one, really.
Paredes back in the middle. Paredes, Lant and Amran. It's a pretty handy midfield they got there, so we'll see they can win this one. Hopefully Wanderers can get it forward as well. We'll see how we go.
Meanwhile, it looks like Leggett's been subbed into the ruck, and I don't think he really knew what he was doing there. Almost tried to muscle his way to the top. I think he's given away a free kick. Would have been in the hands of Paredes. Musgrove. Good kick, he finds Calder. So Calder, you'd think he's going to be lining up here for number 2. Probably set a couple up as well tonight, so don't let that single number next to his name in the goal tally give an indication that he hasn't been up to, as you say, lofty standards that he sets for himself. He's had a good night. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe played a bit more of a selfish role, I should be saying. It's a great kick off the boot there.
Yeah, to say I think he's brought his kicking boots today. He's only had the one, but he wouldn't be disappointed with his performance at all. Sometimes you're not going to kick 6, so he will be fine. I'll be betting on him to kick 6 next week if I was a betting man.
They'd find that handy. They'd find that handy. A big rivalry against the Tiwi Bombers next week for St Mary's. Meanwhile, for the Wanderers, well, perhaps it's going to be an opportunity for them as Cody Leggett is run down. Not happy with that. Good work from Xavier Vallejo. Wanderers will face off against Palmerston next week in a game of 2 sides who are yet to win.
Vallejo looked pretty sore from that. Hopefully he's okay. He seems to be jogging off now, so they might just put him on ice for the 5-6 minutes that we got left in this game, and Paredes has found himself with another possession.
Paredes puts it to the hot spot. Calder trying to muster his way through. Had a few too many to beat. Shanks takes it through over for a behind. And the margin now out to 63 points. I think this is as big as it's been for the evening.
Yeah, you wouldn't want, if you're Wanderers, you wouldn't want the Saints to keep it under 100. That might be a goal for them, just keep them under 100. Maybe get 1 or 2 ourselves and move on to next week and work on what we didn't do. Ooh.
Not a good kick there. Almost more difficult for Brennan than if it was going for a teammate. Bradley gets it through. Here comes Fijo. He finds Smiler. Smiler pushes back. Doesn't really have much. He's got a little one-on-one. Wirchin was front and centre. Arthur's thought he's taken the mark. Wasn't to be. And we'll have a ball up just inside the paint for the Wanderers. They'd have the goals in their targets just to get a little bit more glory on the board. Smiler's gotten their only goal this quarter. Land gets it out of their defensive 50 though, and the Saints are on the move. Move very quickly. Handball comes back. Moo goes out wide, and then McWilliams pushes it in. Paredes goes looking for Patterson. Dos Santos had to pivot. He goes into the back line. Oh, it needs to be safe here. Braunthal was lurking. And that's going to be 50. I think that's the first 50 we've seen for the evening.
Yeah, no, definitely there. I think players need to realise that you have to come back to the 9, back to the top of the goal square, and Braunthal just thought he played on. So umpire definitely got that one right.
Trying to work out who the player on the mark is. Bit of confusion between the 2 umpires there. So it'll be Fuller, centre-half back position. True centre-half back position. He goes to Clee. Dangerous through the middle there. Oh, Wirchin's found himself in trouble. Williamson puts a tackle on. Now comes back to McManus. Left-footed over the top looking for Leggett. Robinson's done well to get a fist in there. Amory. His ball was touched on the way through and intercepted. Clee gets a handball. Thought he was going to get it back. Gee, looks like Lance copped a heavy hit on the wing. I think he collided with Leggett. 2 big fellas just going hard at it.
Yeah, you wouldn't want Dylan Lant going down. You wouldn't want him missing next week's clash. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's just a stinger. Seems to be fine. Well, the player will never take himself off, so we'll see how we go.
Cleese just protesting with the umpire. Trying to work out if it's a free kick or a ball up. And we're away again. Taken out of there by Paredes, almost playing third hand in the ruck. Jack Lant running back three. He's been a bit quiet this second half, and particularly this final quarter. As we hit the 20-minute mark, and there'll be a free kick going the way of the Wanderers as you're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 2025-26 TIO NTFL season live on NT News and Community TV. Here comes Hagan. He goes inboard to Lant. Gets it a 1-2 with Amory. Inside 50 he goes. One more shot on goal for him. Through for a behind. And that will be the final siren here. St Mary's 12-14-86 have defeated the Wanderers 3-4-22. Another loss for the Wanderers. For the Saints, it's their first win of the season. And 64-point margin in favour of them. How did you see the game, Leo?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty Saints dominant. They needed a win like that after a bye last week and a narrow loss to Southern District, so I think we just saw their best players play really well and a couple of new recruits really shine, and I think that was a performance that we're really, really happy about. A good percentage boost and a good way to just kickstart their season, and hopefully they go on a bit of a run here. What do you take from that if you're a Wanderers coach there, Will?
Yeah, look, I think obviously you need to kick more goals. That's where they've struggled all year. I think they've been growing in terms of their intensity, their motivation, their hunger, so you're just hoping to keep building on that. You're probably looking for a little bit more structure going forward, and even out of the back line, it just looks like they're a bit lost and they're just blazing away too often. So I don't think it's necessarily the skills. I think it's more the fitness and the actual structure and tactics. But that'll be something they'll work on. As we said, they might have an opportunity next week when they play against Palmerston, who are in a similar position, yet to win a game this season. It'll be 9th versus 7th from last year's ladder. St Mary's, they've got a big clash next week against the Tiwi Bombers, who both of them will be looking for their second win. The Tiwi Bombers lost their second game today by 13 points. Second time they've lost by 13 points this year to Pint. So big couple of weeks ahead. Our goal scorers first of all, and then I'll get your 3-2-1 for tonight's game. Leo, 2 goals went to Jack Lant, to Luke Patterson and to Mitch Musgrove, and then it was singles to Elijah Amory, Dylan Lant, Xavier Vallejo, Nate Paredes, Jackson Calder and Jackson Braunthal. Meanwhile for the Wanderers, it was singles to Sonny Smiler, Fraser Bradley and Henry Lovell. Your best for this evening, Leo?
Yeah, I've definitely given my 3 votes to Nate Paredes. I thought he just really set the tone early for St Mary's, was just winning that hard ball, a couple of goals to go with it. Might have died off a bit in that second half, but he was just fantastic. Didn't miss a beat from the last time he played NTFL. The 2 votes I'm going to give to Matty Green. I thought, especially in those first 3 quarters, he was just marking everything, really launching St Mary's attack off half-back. He was fantastic, as he was last week. And then I'll give Dylan Lant number 1. Yeah, he was probably a bit quiet early and then really worked his way into the game and just did what he usually does and racked the disposals up and got a goal to go with that. And yeah, another typical performance from him. And who did you see, Will?
Yeah, I saw the same. I think Paredes was best on ground by a long way, and great support in the middle from the Lamp boys and from Matty Green off the back line. Yeah, fantastic effort all round from St Mary's. But that'll be all for this evening. In the end, a 65-point margin it is in favour of St Mary's. Their first win of the season, and Wanderers still looking for answers as to how they start their season in 25-26. Been great to bring you the footy tonight. Look forward to bringing it to you next week.
What?